Hello, in this video, I would like to help you improvise with the three modes that contain a minor triad and a minor pentatonic core. Isn't it amazing? Dorian, Aeolian, and Phrygian all have the same minor triad and the same minor pentatonic scale at their core, with the other notes being the tendency tones. So let me show you my keyboard so you can see more of what I'm talking about. So on this little chart here, the tonic would be do, right? It is do. Do, 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 do. Let's try hitting as many does as you can. Rather than just thinking of intervals as reaching up, try to hear that harmonic connection. Okay, so now we're going to go to the minor triad. Sing it. Do, 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 me, do, so, me, do, me, so, me, do, so, me, do. That can be challenging leaping around, but it's great training for your ear. Hearing the drone will help you hear some overtones of those notes and hear reference points for your singing. There's great drone apps you can look up that I highly recommend. I listened to a drone in the morning called Dronio that I did some editing on the software, and I sing to God every morning, almost every morning, while listening to the drone to keep my ear in tune. Okay, now we're going to go on to the pentatonic scale. So major pentatonic adds scale degrees 2 and 6. Minor pentatonic does not. If you add 2 and 6, you end up with Hirajoshi, a beautiful Japanese scale with 2 half steps, which are gorgeous. But we're going to focus on the pentatonic scale as it's more conservatively known as a scale derived of stacking perfect fifths, compressing them into an octave, and you won't have any half steps, major sevenths, or tritones. So if you play the whole thing as a chord, it'll sound great, especially if you spread it out. Oh, I love that. I call this, you could call it a minor 11th chord with no ninth. I call it the 7-11, just like the pentatonic chord, like the 6-9 chord. Is the major pentatonic scale chord. The minor pentatonic one, 7-11, like a Slurpee. Oh, I love that. You can think of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and that gorgeous song uses that chord. All right, so next, we're going to improvise in it. Now try singing it after, here's an example. Do, me, do, te, so, fa, so, do, me, do, so, fa, me, do. If we add fi, we end up with the blues scale. I do sometimes throw in a mixture of the dominant blues in there for more color. Okay, so if you want to just throw in the blues scale to sing it as well. Do, me, fa, fi, so, te, do, te, so, fa, me, do. So yeah, you can play around with that. You may wonder why we have scale degrees 4 and 7 instead of 2 and 6. Well, 2 and 6 are going to cause those half steps that we find in the diatonic systems. Also, if you just look at C pentatonic major and then you go to A pentatonic minor, which is the relative minor, you'll see that the same notes add 4 and 7. Sorry, well, it's 1 here, but that you end up with the same notes and you end up having 4 and 7 instead of adding 2 and 6. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go through these 3 beautiful modes here. Dorian, Aeolian, and Phrygian all have the same pentatonic minor chord. And same pentatonic minor triad, of course. Or sorry, same minor triad, same minor pentatonic chord. So Dorian mode. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do, te, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. It's a little darker than Mixolydian, but brighter than minor with that raised sixth from minor. You can look over here. What's different from minor? This has a raised sixth. Okay. So I love this mode. It's so dreamy with no half steps to 1 or 5. It's especially dreamy. Said in another video, 2 to 3 does have a half step up, but 3 is not as strong of a magnet, and it has to overcome the sense of gravity of upward resolutions. It's not as dramatic as when you have Tito, right? Okay, or even Fa Mi, since Mi is a stronger magnet than Me. With a once again, Mi is a 5/4 ratio. And So Mi is a 6/5. So a little bit less stable for the minor third. That's why we have Picardy thirds in early music. More stable thirds that are a little more hopeful sounding, to at least they were to them. Okay, so now Dorian. Let's try singing. Do, re, mi, re, do, so, la, te, do, te, la, so, fa, mi, do, fa, mi, re, do, so, la, so, do, re, do. We're going to go to Aeolian next. We went over harmonic and melodic minor in the first video. Here we're focusing more on modes. So now we have Le So. So we have some drama there. If you wanted to use harmonic minor there, you have that leading tone here. Okay, so singing in Aeolian. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, le, so. So, le, so, do, te, le, so, do, te, le, so, fa, mi, re, do, so, do. Now your turn to try that. I would pause the video and try it for yourself. Next, we're going to try Phrygian mode. Phrygian has do, ra, mi, fa, sol, le, te, do, te, le, so, fa, mi, ra, do. So we have this ra, do half step. Very dramatic, very sad sounding. It is interesting that it has a major 2 chord. It's just the Neapolitan chord. It would be something more like this. So that's an example of mode mixture using the Neapolitan 2. Flat 2, first inversion, going to 5, but often actually going to a cadential 6/4 chord, which looks like a 1/6/4 chord resolving. But these are, yeah, that's another topic for another video. Okay, so Phrygian. Now that you've played in it, pause the video, let's try singing. Do, te, le, so, fa, so. Do, ra, me, fa, me, ra, do. To me, that sounds really tragic. I know there was a tendency, I think, in theory to detach emotional associations with theory, but all we're doing is feeling math, guys. Proportions and ratios and tendencies. And if we're not feeling it, what are we doing? Where's the muse in music? It's just ick. Take out muse, ick. So I think we need to understand these not just at an intellectual level, but an emotional, intuitive level. So I hope you enjoyed improvising with these different modes and seeing their relationship to each other and their relationship to a core, right? To a tonic note, tonic triad, a pentatonic scale, and then you have the more playful and dramatic notes outside of that in the diatonic system. In the next video, we're going to talk about how seventh chords connect back to these modes, and perhaps talk about some extended chromaticism as chromatic passing and neighbor tones. And I appreciate you for just being you. God made you. And thank you for listening and watching. God bless you. Have a great day.